Hello. In this lesson, we are going to be talking about scoring rules inside of the CRM. So, scoring rules are a way to keep track of your leads, for example, and to know which one is an engaged lead or a hot lead and which ones are cold. So, they're not reading our emails, they're not opening our emails, things like that. So, this is very helpful. In order to prioritize your leads, to know which ones we need to put more effort into than other ones. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our settings in the CRM. And here we can just type in scoring rules and it'll pop up right there for you. And we can create a new rule from here. So we can give it a name. So we can do lead score. And then we're going to select the module that we want this rule to run on. So I'm going to choose the leads. And then we can choose which layout or all layouts. I only have one, so I'm just going to do that one. And then from there, it's going to take us to start building our scoring rules. So we can use the fields from the leads. So we can add criteria here. So basically, let's say if they email opt-out is selected, then we want to subtract 50 points. We want to subtract a lot of points for that because that's very negative if they're no longer getting any emails from us, right? So here it's going to ask, would you like to add score fields to the record? So what that's going to do is it'll have a field that'll show you the lead's score so that you can have it on the record. So if we do yes, proceed, then we are going to configure the scoring rule field. So we can do lead score is what we're going to call it. And then we want to have it here. We can do score. So you can have it if it's a positive score, if it's a negative. I just want the score. So I want just the bottom line. What is the score? And then you can add multiple here. So we can also do one for like a touch point score. So that one will show us the score based on their actual touch points. We can add a channel in here. So this is really cool because we can do calls, campaigns, emails. I really like to do emails because this is one of the most important ones, I think. So if they're actually opening our emails and reading them. So if the email is opened, we can add 10 points. And then let's say if the email is clicked, then we'll add another 10 points. And then we can also do, let's say they came to our webinar. For every registration, we can add, let's do 5 points for that. And then you can just keep going with this, as you can see. So sales IQ, you can have it for missed chats. I don't want to add that in though. And then you can just keep building on this. So anything that you think is important for you to know if they're doing it or not doing it, you can always add points and subtract points for that. You can add any of the fields that you have in the leads here. So we can even do like annual revenue. So let's say we want clients that are making between $1 to $5 million a year. Then you can put that in here. If the annual revenue is in between those parameters, then we can add points because we know that they're a good lead for us. So you just keep building it out, and then you will save this. And you can update your old records or you can continue without updating. We'll update the old records too. Okay, so now we have our lead score rule. So if we open up a new tab now and we go to our leads, what we're going to have here is we will have our touch point score and our lead total score. So we now have these as fields in the system and they are locked. So we can't just click on this and make it a higher score. You can move this. So if you want, for example, up here in your business card, let's say instead of their mobile number, we want the lead total score. So we can move that to the top. So it's like one of the first things that we see when we go to this record. We've implemented this for a lot of clients and it's super, super helpful for them because like I said, when you have a lot of leads coming in and you need to prioritize your leads, you're going to want to nurture the lead that has a score of 70 over the lead that has a score of 10, right? So we know that they're engaged, they are answering our phone calls, they're clicking on our emails, they're coming to our webinars. All of these good things are happening, and that score keeps going up. So we know they're engaged and that they are really ready to go to the next step in the sales cycle. So it's important to nurture them.